So we are live. So as you all know, yesterday was the confirmation hearing for Kash Patel. Kash Patel is the FBI director nominee from President Trump. And it was like 6 hours confirmation hearing. It was so long, but it was entertaining, as you would expect. It had a lot of important things, but there were a couple of clips that resonated with me, and I wanted to watch them with you. Let's watch them together. Where are they? Yeah, here.
President Trump's pick for FBI Director Kash Patel, front and center on Capitol Hill today. He's backed by most Republicans who expect he'll come in and make major changes. He said he would, and Democrats, they're not happy about that.
Could he just answer the question if he said that the FBI headquarters where they investigate cybercrime and terrorism should be shut down and opened as a deep state?
Hey, Mr. Chair.
As a museum? Did he say that the headquarters should be shut down?
Mr. Chair.
I deserve an answer to that question.
If the best attacks on me are going to be false accusations and grotesque mischaracterizations, the only thing this body is doing is defeating the credibility of the men and women at the FBI. I stood with them here in this country. In every theater of war we have, I was on the ground in service of this nation. And any
what he's saying is kind of true. Yesterday, most Democrat senators were too aggressive with him. Throwing accusations at him left and right. I don't know if they are true, if they're not, but he dodged a lot of questions. He didn't answer a lot of the questions, but he had a commanding presence. He has a strong personality, and that's good, especially if you want to be an FBI director or the FBI director. So I think he's fit for this job, if you ask me. He has leadership. You can see it. Like he has a very strong personality. So we will see.
accusations leveled against me that I would somehow put political bias before the Constitution are grotesquely unfair. And I will have you reminded that I have been endorsed by over 300,000 law enforcement officers to become the next director of the FBI. Let's ask them.
Patel also detailing threats he has personally faced since his January 6th testimony.
Have you ever been subject to racism as an individual?
But fortunately, Senator, yes. I don't want to get into those details with my family here.
Oh, let's get into a few of them. Tell me about it.
Well, if you look at the record from January 6th, where I testified before that committee, because of my personal information being released by Congress, I was subjected to a direct...
The viewer said he's so comfortable talking, and I agree. He's like in his place. He doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with him. He's comfortable. He's sure of himself, and that's a great characteristic in director in any position. I think he's a good nominee, and let's see.
A significant threat on my life, and I put that information in the record. I had to move. But that's nothing.
One of the viewers said he had very aggressive attacks thrown at him, and that's true, and he wasn't fazed. And that's great, yeah.
Compared to what the men and women in law enforcement face every day. And that's why they have my support.
My next guest is someone who knows Kash Patel very well. He's former Congressman Devin Nunes. Kash was his lead staff investigator for the House Intelligence Committee in what ultimately became the Russia collusion hoax, and Devin Nunes joins me now. Devin, thanks for being with us. What did you think about, not just the way Kash testified today, but what you heard from the United States senators?
Well, it depends which one. I thought that Chairman Grassley did a great job. I thought that Kash Patel took tough questions, which the Senate has a right to ask those tough questions, and the American people got to see and learn a lot about Kash and his background. Everybody that's worked with him closely knows that he does an excellent job. He is an excellent job at investigating, which, by the way, that's what the FBI needs to get back to doing, is actually investigating and going after criminals. I would say, Will, that Adam Schiff, the American people lost him in the United States House of Representatives. That was a gain for the House of Representatives. But I think the Democratic senators are now realizing that the circus has come to them. And I thought Adam Schiff was an embarrassment, like he normally is.
Me too. He was weird. He was an embarrassment, yeah.
Has an axe to grind with Kash Patel because it was Kash and our team that made a mockery of this guy
exactly.
year after year after year.
It felt personal. When he was talking, the whole thing felt so personal. So, yeah.
To the American people and the audacity that he has to go down additional conspiracy theory routes to tarnish Kash's reputation after he already participated, as Kash said there in his testimony, he was the one responsible for leaking Kash's information out where Kash became a target.
Well, let's do this. Let's share with the audience perhaps an illustration of what you're talking about when it comes to Senator Adam Schiff. Watch.
So you're being considered for director of the FBI, and here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you.
I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement.
I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. Kash, whom I've met and who you know well, is intense. There was a question, believe it or not, Devin, there was a question buried in that rant by Adam Schiff, and the question is that who we want running the FBI? I'll ask you, what qualities and what goals and purposes need to be executed in who we want to run the FBI?
Well, it definitely needs to take a change in a different direction from where it's been. I mean, I think it was stated many times the FBI is at an all-time low today in terms of the people's confidence level in them. So I think Kash brings a level of understanding, both being on the prosecution side where he prosecuted terrorists. He served in the House of Representatives as a lead investigator for us, but also then went on and served in the administration. But people forget early in his career, he actually was on the other side and he defended criminals. So he knew what it was like when the FBI or DOJ or others overstepped their bounds. And I think what you saw today with it's the example I was saying of what a circus that Adam Schiff brings to the United States Senate.
Exactly.
And there was another example of it where he himself is sitting there lying about Kash Patel when he knows the reason he doesn't like Kash Patel is because for years Kash uncovered Adam Schiff's lies, and now he was exposing him there today. Where I mean, just the fact that with Schiff to be able to say that Kash was making money, I mean that's outrageous. Kash Patel had a nonprofit that was generating money to help people in need, including people in uniform. So Schiff knows that this is a lie. Look, I think that it won't take long before the United States Senate, the Democrat senators included, you could see it there today, that they're going to get sick of Adam Schiff and they're going to be sad that he entered the U.S. Senate. And I think it was on display.
Well, you mentioned the lack of trust in the FBI, that it's an all-time low. We have that number, actually. And it was brought up today by Kash Patel. It's 41%. That's the number of American people that today have faith, confidence in the FBI. Hopefully that can be restored with Kash Patel. Devin Nunes, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
Yeah, so this is actually the clip I wanted to show you.
Well, let's do this. Let's share with the audience perhaps an illustration of what you're talking about when it comes to Senator Adam Schiff. Watch.
So you're being considered for director of the FBI, and here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them.
Oh my God.
I want you to look at them.
That's what I'm talking about. He's intense.
Look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement.
I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. Kash, whom I've met and you know.
It's going to be a fun 4 years.
Talked about Mr. Patel, truth incredibly important in an FBI director, and a number.
Who had, who was also a bit aggressive with Kash and Senator Haley or Amy.
For the things I asked you about in the first round, you didn't recall or you wanted more context. I'm going to give you one of those. I'll give you the rest on the record. That was about when I asked you about the Capitol Police officers who testified in the January 6 hearings and you accused them of lying. You said, and I quote, "I don't think that's accurate." I actually have the transcript here, which was reported by the Washington Post. And that was in March of 2024 on Joe Pack's podcast. He asked you, the Capitol Police in that fake January 6 committee, they didn't tell the truth, did they? Patel, no. Not just them, many others. And lying under oath is a federal offense and they should be investigated for it. Do you believe that about the police officers?
That's a general statement and a mischaracterization of what I said. I encourage you to read the rest of the interview.
Watch this now. That's crazy.
This is why snippets of information are often misleading and detrimental to this committee's advice and consent process.
If you consent, I would love to have 5 hours of questions and then I could read the whole transcript.
You've got 2 minutes.
Wow. In September, you referred to the FBI's.
Exactly. Wow. He's a strong person. He's intense. He has a strong personality, a commanding presence. I watched the whole thing. It was just crazy.
Intel branch, which was stood up after 9/11 and works to protect us from foreign adversaries like China as, quote, the biggest problem the FBI has had, unquote. And you said you wanted to, quote, break that component out of the FBI. It was the same sentence where you said about turning the FBI headquarters into a museum. Do you really think that closing the Intel branch will make Americans safer?
Again, it's not what I said. The intelligence component of the FBI has seen some politicization and weaponization that we've discussed here today, and intelligence collection capabilities belong in the intelligence community. Having served in both law enforcement and intelligence communities, I'm uniquely qualified to bring the intelligence limited component back to the FBI that ties back to the legislative mandate of prosecuting and investigating criminals.
Okay, last, I will end early, Mr. Chairman. You said in May of 2023, this is important to all of us because Elon Musk is playing such a major role in the government right now. You said Elon Musk cares about two things, your data and his money. Do you still stand by those words?
I don't have that entire quote, but that's what it says.
It was in you were angry because of endorsement of Governor DeSantis in Florida, and so you were defending Donald Trump, and so you criticized Elon Musk, and that was the context for it. And you said Elon Musk cares about two things, your data and his money, and it matters to us because he's playing such a major role in the government. And so I just wonder if you think that's true.
I don't have that full quote in front of me to respond.
Thank you.
Oh my God! So actually, he did this. He did this throughout the confirmation hearing. He played verbal gymnastics. He jumped around, didn't answer a lot of the questions, but I think he's great for the job. As I said, he's intense. He has an intense personality, and he's a strong person who seems fit to be in a leadership role. So good luck to him.